All right, good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, citizens of YouTube. This is Pastor Dowell. It looked like that yesterday's YouTube video has received quite a bit of response there, and people are enjoying the instruction. I got two things I'm going to talk about here this morning, just briefly here to try to help us out in understanding. I'm going to talk about judgment and correction. Let's hit correction first. I made a video yesterday and I was talking about, the structure of the assembly. I'm a pastor here, and then there are a few people out there that receives me as their pastor, okay? And I am their pastor under shepherd, all right? And they are part of Israel. But we have an epidemic of religious people in this world. Well, you have people who are self-anointed, self-appointed. They have no, let me use the words it's easily understood, no church structure whatsoever at all. And many people sit back and they think that they understand everything that goes on. For instance, I'm a pastor and I deal with a lot of people. So at any given time, when I'm giving messages, a lot of times many people do not know exactly who I'm dealing with or what I'm dealing with, but the word is for you that applies. And all you have to do is figure out if the shoe fits. If the shoe fit, wear it. Okay? So, with that said, we have a lot of religious people out here that assume that they can correct and instruct while nobody can peer into their lives and see exactly what it is that they're deficient in. That's the reason why we here at Straightway live a set-apart life. We have a structure, a base of elders here. And if we're going to have a counselor, it's going to be one among 1,000. You would literally go chaotically insane if you value everybody's opinion and perspective and point of view concerning anything that you do in your life. You're not to be doing that because they're not your judge. Now, going into judgment, here it is. Watch this. Let's talk about judgment here for a second. What is the penalty? Because I was talking about adultery yesterday. So we know that the penalty for adultery is death. We understand that, right? Under the covenant, under the Torah. Oh boy, I got a heater going in here. I guess the fumes are getting to me a little bit. But anyway, we know that the judgment for adultery is death, all right? Now, in the commandments, it also says, thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor, all right? Now, we need to understand what is the judgment upon you or anyone if they bear false witness. Well, let me answer the question for you, because there seems to be a judgment for stealing, and there is. There's a judgment for killing, and there is. There's a judgment for adultery, and there is. In other words, there's judgment for all these other commandments and stuff, but very few people understand the bearing false witness commandment. All right, so how do you judge, or what is the judgment of someone that bears false witness? Simple. It's whatever they measure and whatever they meet in their judgment. Whatever they measure, whatever they meet, that is the judgment that they receive. Let me give you an example. If you accuse someone of adultery, or if you accuse someone of what you call fornication, or anything of that sort, and it's not true, and you have found out to be an accuser and a liar, the way you found out how you judge that is this: what is the penalty for adultery? Why, it's death. So if you accuse someone of adultery or fornication and you have no facts, all you have is assumptions and assertions, and that's it. Are you following me? You judge them. And in that judgment, you receive death, because that's what you wanted. You didn't do like the Bible says, go to your brother, go to your sister, or whoever it is. You didn't do that. No, you chose the judgment upon your own self. You took it upon your own self to make a judgment to spread evil about these people, to slander them. And as a result of that, you know what's going to happen? You have received death yourself. Now, we know that people just not dying today. And that's the reason why we're so messed up as a society, because judgment is not executed expediently. Therefore, people think that they're just getting away with everything. But people are not paying attention to the spiritual death. People are not paying attention that if you're not walking in the fruit of the Spirit, then you're already dead, and you're dying, and you're twice dead and plucked up by the roots. And so there are a lot of people that are dying and really truly no longer are walking with us as we're following Christ, as well as with you too. So if they accuse you of adultery and they bear false witness and found out that their facts is not so, but they are just accusers, then that judgment is death. And that's the judgment that they should receive. Now, death is separation, and that's the judgment. The judgment in the assembly should be separation. It should be separation for a while. But you know what people do today, right? They like accusing. They like being pit vipers. And they like flying under the radar so nobody sees. And they like developing a coup with people who that they themselves are so-called close-knit with. And I had somebody make an accusation. You know, the reason why people leave ministries is because there's something wrong. Really? Well, let's look at all the fruit of the people that leave, and let's look at the fruit who makes those judgments. And let's see what the real truth is. Because, you know, I'm amazed. Like I said, I've never seen anybody leave anything and have anything good to say. And I would love to see all the people that church hop, assembly hop, and got all these issues, troubles, and problems. I like to see all of them get together and have this wonderful, esteemed fellowship and show with all of us who seem to be blinded and in transgression and we don't know what we're doing, how to do this thing. I mean, after all, if we don't know how to do it, we do need an example. So show us. But I always run across this. I've never seen anybody show us the example. I always see people go back to the vomit, back to the world, back to the life of sin, and they fall off the face of planet Earth. But the whole time they were disgruntled, they were concerned, they were all of this. See, I'm saying all this today to help you people out there to understand what goes on in churches, what goes on in assemblies, in order for you to make proper judgment. And not only that, but for you to keep yourself. To keep yourself, because everybody is not Israel who claim to be Israel. And everybody is truly not your brother and sister who claim to be your brother and sister. Pay attention to fruit. There's good fruit and there's bad fruit. Good fruit produces a certain type of fruit. Bad fruit produces a certain type of fruit. You know, the old statement in the word is wild out countenance fallen. Put on the garment of praise for the spirit of heaviness. I tell you what, a lot of times when people got bad fruit, they don't want no reconciliation. They don't want anything but death. And that's the reason why you see death on their countenance today. I hope I said something to stimulate you. I got to go because I'm eating up this assembly, and boy, those fumes are getting to me. So, have a very good day.